All right. Welcome, everyone. Happy Friday. Thank you for joining us, the Girl Scouts of Greater Chicago and Northwest Indiana, and the American Red Cross, the Illinois region. We are super excited to have you here today to learn about how to be prepared for emergencies and also how to cope in stressful situations. We actually have our main presenter today is a Gold Award Girl Scout, so that's awesome. I'm really excited. Just as a reminder, we are going to keep you all on mute because there are a lot of you, and sometimes when one person's on mute, you know, there's echoes and we can't hear anything. But if you do want to contribute to the conversation, we do have the chat box and you can type in there. Please try to stay focused in the chat box. So focus on what the questions are that Kirsten will ask, things like that, because sometimes the chat goes by so quickly that we miss questions when people keep writing hi or you know, lots of other things. So please stay focused in the chat. We're really excited to have you here, and we do want your participation through the chat box. And with that, I am going to welcome Kirsten, who will be running the program today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. My name is Kirsten. I also have a couple coworkers with me. I have Penny and Shelly. They'll be helping me with the chat box and helping me engage you all with the presentation today. All three of us are AmeriCorps members that are working with the American Red Cross. This is a volunteer program that we're doing for about a year, and we get to teach programs like this all year round and do a bunch of other really cool stuff with the American Red Cross. So if you're ever interested, let us know. Now, I'm sure most of you have heard of the Red Cross, correct? Gonna pretend like that's all a yes, and we're gonna nod. So we do a lot of cool things. Our main purpose is donating blood. Well, we don't donate blood, but you can. We host blood drives for people when we get blood to hospitals in crises or emergencies. We also do a lot of other fun stuff like teach programs like this. We try and keep the public as informed as possible on possible emergencies, first aid, CPR, all sorts of cool stuff like that. So this is one of my favorite classes to teach. So let's begin. I want to share my screen with you. This is going to be a presentation on the Pillowcase project. Yay. Okay. All right, here we go. So welcome aboard, everyone. So the Pillowcase project originally was created by Southwest Louisiana Red Cross chapter after Hurricane Katrina. This hurricane happened, oh man, quite a few years ago at this point, and this emergency inspired this entire program. College students that were affected by Hurricane Katrina were evacuating their dorm rooms, and they were bringing all of their personal items with them in pillowcases. And that sparked the idea to start teaching the public about emergency evacuations and emergency preparedness kits. So this project is just to teach you and anyone else interested in this class how to stay calm and safe during emergencies and how to be prepared as much as possible for anything that could happen. As you see around this slide, there are a bunch of different emergencies that we do talk about or that could potentially happen in your area. Today, we are specifically going to talk about tornadoes. Moving on. So this pillowcase right here is usually the pillowcase we would hand out during these classes. Since we're virtual, that won't be happening today, but we're going to do what we can to try and get to these pillowcases. Or what you could do is find a pillowcase in your own home, maybe one that's stained or you're not using or doesn't match your pillow or bedding set anymore. Or if you don't have an extra pillowcase lying around, you can use a backpack or any other item that can just carry your items safely. So backpacks are used, duffel bags are used. I know a lot of people, my Girl Scout troop personally made t-shirt bags. We sewed together two ends of a t-shirt and used that as just our emergency bag. We used the holes for your arms as the handles. It was a really cool project. That might be something you want to consider. But anything like that would work. It's just an item that you trust to hold all of your personal things. So let's begin. I know all of you are very talented, and most of you must play sports or maybe dance or play an instrument or have this really cool hobby. I tap dance. I love it. I've been doing it ever since I was a kid, and I really wasn't good at it at first. I remember my very first recital, I ran off the stage crying. I was 3, to be fair. But anyway, I got better at it. I kept practicing. I kept going on to recitals, doing well. And then eventually I got the hang of it and I started teaching my friends how to tap dance. And that entire process we like to call is learn, practice, share. So today, that's how we are going to teach you how all of these skills. We are first going to teach you about preparedness and about the emergencies at hand. Then we're going to have you practice the skill, whether it be the skill of sharing your knowledge with others or the skill of calming down during emergencies. And then your assignment is to share it with your loved ones. Today, we're just going to have you focused on the loved ones in your home, whether it be your grown-ups, your little siblings, cousins, friends, anything like that in your area. But hopefully when you get older, you'll share this with your other Girl Scout troops or friends from school or anything like that. All right. So this is the Pillowcase Project Pledge. And I would love for you all to read this to yourselves. I will read it with you. And after today, hopefully you'll take this pledge to heart and actually try to be as prepared for emergencies as possible. You'll take everything you'll learn today in our class, take it home with you, and actually put it into practice. So let's read aloud. I pledge to be prepared for emergencies by learning how emergencies happen, practicing how to stay safe, and sharing what I've learned at home with my friends. All right. So this is the hazards map of the United States of America. Might be similar to some other maps you've seen. I don't know if you've ever seen this one in particular, but this one's really cool because every state is color-coded based on the emergencies that happen in the area. So if you look at the legend on the right-hand side, all of the colors coordinate with something different that happens just uniquely to that state. So I'm from New York originally, and you can see, if you find New York on the map, you'll see it in that light blue color. And if you look on the legend, find that same light blue color, you're going to see that the hazard that typically happens in that state is hurricanes. But we are right now in Illinois. So if you find Illinois in the map, you're going to see a dark green color. Go to the legend, and you'll see that it is mostly affected by tornadoes and earthquakes. Tornadoes is the hazard we're going to be mostly talking about today. But before we move on, I want you all to look at the very bottom of the hazard map. There's this gray bar. It says, wherever you live, you should be prepared for these common emergencies. And then there's 4 photos or 4 icons of different emergencies. These emergencies are called act fast emergencies. So home fires, flooding, thunderstorms and lightnings, and severe winter storms. These hazards happen anywhere and everywhere. Doesn't matter where you live, doesn't matter what state you're in, they can happen to anyone. So those emergencies you always have to be prepared for no matter what. Fires are definitely the most common, and we'll be talking about that a little bit later on too. But first, let's talk about tornadoes. All right, so a tornado is a fast-spinning, funnel-shaped column of air that connects to the ground from a thunderstorm cloud. So based on the thunderstorms we had this weekend, you all know a thunderstorm, it happens, it's dark, it's gray, it's cloudy, it's really humid, might be a little misty in the air. That you look up and you see, oh wow, it's probably gonna rain. That could form, those types of clouds could form a tornado, okay? Now, sometimes it might just rain. It might just be a thunderstorm. We can't tell just by looking up at the sky. We are not trained for this kind of thing. But forecasters are. There are forecasters that are honestly just sitting in a room waiting and looking and preparing for tornadoes. And they're doing everything they can to get you the news that a tornado might be happening as fast as they possibly can. Sometimes after tornadoes touch down, they bounce back up, they bounce back around in all different spots, maybe like a pogo stick. Sometimes they go in a straight line like a vacuum cleaner. Tornadoes, unfortunately, are very unpredictable. So it's really important to stay attached to the media or informed by what is happening with the tornadoes. Sometimes tornadoes just spin in the same spot on the top for a couple minutes too. It's really hard to tell what's going to happen. Tornado winds can be very dangerous. They can knock down trees, destroy buildings, houses. They can even blow cars and trains and trucks right off the road. A tornado sounds like a freight train or like the L train you hear in Chicago, except a whole lot louder. It sounds like it's going right by, right next to you, and it might shake your walls, it might rattle your windows. It will be very hard to ignore, and you will know if a tornado is very close by or in your area at all. If for whatever reason you don't, your newscasters will tell you and they will inform you. Now let's see how we could be prepared. All right. When forecasters say that a tornado might happen in your neighborhood or in your area, that's called a tornado watch. It's going to be big banners all over your screen if you're watching TV. Even if you're not watching the news, it'll appear on your channel. We'll also get notified via phone. Everyone has phones. And you get the weather alerts when an emergency is happening. It's going to say tornado warning or tornado watch in big, big letters. And that's when you know a tornado might happen. That means all evidence is pointing to a tornado happening at any point in time within the next hour. So at that point, you should be thinking, oh, wow, I should do something. And here's what you're going to do. You're going to stay listening to the weather updates. You're going to review your plan. So if your plan is to get to a nearby safety spot, you're going to try and get ready right away to go. That means you're going to make sure everything's packed up in your emergency kit. You're going to make sure you know how to get to your safety spot. You're going to make sure your safety spot is still available for you to go to. And you're going to make sure you find every single person in your family and make sure they all know that they have to get to the safety spot as soon as possible. If you need to change your plans, if you learn your safety spot is filled or it's broken or you can't get there, this is the time to plan for a new safety spot or go to plan B. All right? Now, your safety spot is going to be close by to you, and it's going to be in a very safe spot that you can get to in less than 10 minutes, ideally. If it's going to take you longer, then you have to know that ahead of time, and you have to know how soon you should leave for the safety spot when the tornado watch is in effect. When the forecasters change their warning, when they see a tornado in your area, this is going to turn into a tornado warning. This means you have to go to your safety spot immediately if you're not already there, okay? You have to go to a room without any windows, preferably on the bottom floor of your home or your building. Maybe that's a closet, maybe it's a bathroom, maybe it's a hallway in the middle of your house or your home that's away from the outside walls or outside windows. Closets seem to be a very common area. Some apartment buildings have basements available. Some homes have basements available. It's important for you to figure out what your spot is right away. Maybe even now, today, after this presentation, you're going to go and talk to your grown-ups and pick that spot out. But as soon as the tornado warning is in effect, you have to go there right now. Grab your kit and go. Okay? Now, once you're in that spot and the tornado warning is here, that means there's a tornado right outside your door. That means you are going to get into the safety position. So you're going to kneel down. You're going to take your hands, put them behind your head, and cover your head like this, and kneel as close as you can into this little itty bitty turtle shell of a ball. Okay? And then you're going to stay like that until the tornado warning is gone, until all signs of a tornado is possibly out there. Then this might be a good idea to have a radio in your safety spot so the forecasters can tell you if the tornado is still here, the tornado warning is still in effect, right? If you live in a manufactured home or a mobile home, they are not safe for you to be in during a tornado. It's important to know some safety spots in your area or community to go to when a tornado is happening. If you are on your way to your safety spot and maybe you see a tornado and you're in your car, don't leave your car. Stay in your car, stay seated, stay in your buckle. Just try and get into that little ball right when you're in your seat. Pull over to the side of the road, have your grown-ups pull over to the side of the road, and just curl into that safety spot. All right, that's the safest spot for you to be in at that moment. Okay. Now, let's see. So I have a quick story to read, just to make sure you fully understood everything we just went over, because I know I talk fast and I didn't want anyone to get lost. So we are going to read a story about Parker and Ray. Parker and his family live in a town where there are tornado warnings almost every summer. But this summer, his cousin Ray was coming to stay with Parker for a few weeks, and Ray had only seen tornadoes on TV. Parker knew that Ray would be worried about what might happen if a tornado hit his town. He was already asking Peter what it was like to see a building smashed by the wind. Luckily, Parker had learned a lot about tornado preparedness from the Pillowcase project. What could Parker teach Ray to help him handle his worries about what might happen during a tornado? I'll let you all take a few minutes to give me some answers in the comment section, and we'll look over them really quick. Any good answers? Any good ideas? Anything Parker could teach Ray to be prepared? I cannot see the chat, so I'm gonna give it a second. I hope you got some cool answers. Anything we just talked about will be something good. Parker could teach Ray how to curl into his little ball, or he could teach him the difference between what a tornado warning is, what a tornado watch is, and what a tornado warning is. He could teach him what are the safest places to be in, what's the safest spot to stay in, what rooms of the house are safe places to go to if a tornado is happening, anything like that. But it's most importantly, Parker's going to want to teach Ray how to stay calm when a tornado is happening or if a tornado is happening. He's going to teach him something called a coping skill, which is what we're going to learn about right now. Okay. Coping skills help people stay calm and feel safe during an emergency. Lots of people feel worried or scared when they think about what might happen in emergencies, even grown-ups. And this is just scary feelings when a tornado might happen. If a tornado is actually happening, it's very important to stay calm as well. But these worried feelings, they happen to all of us. It's completely normal to feel worried or frightened when an emergency is happening. That's why we need coping skills, to be prepared for these kinds of thoughts and feelings. My favorite coping skill is called breathing with color. All right, let's all practice that today. So let's say you're starting to get nervous, you're starting to feel really frightened, really panicked, you might not be able to breathe, you can't think straight, so much is happening, everything's traveling at a mile a minute, and that happens, that's common, that's completely natural. But during an emergency, you don't want to be running around screaming, panicking, because that's not going to help anything. You want to stay calm. So what you're going to do in those moments, whenever you're feeling frantic or scared or worried, you're just going to stop yourself, whatever you're doing, stop yourself. If you can get to a seated position, that's great. Maybe it might be good to stand up or against a wall, a flat surface, maybe that would help. And you're just going to close your eyes. And you're going to picture your favorite color. Or maybe it's just a color that makes you feel happy. When I close my eyes and picture a happy color, I picture purple. That's my favorite color. It keeps me calm. It stops me from worrying about things. So I'm going to picture purple, and I'm going to inhale purple through my nose. Purple, purple, purple. And then when I have that purple color in my head, I'm going to breathe out through my mouth, nice and slow. And when I breathe out, I'm going to picture a different color. I'm going to picture a color that's scary, a color that maybe represents my scared feelings. I'm going to choose gray, just like the gray storm clouds that are above that are probably causing this tornado. That color is the color I'm going to exhale. I'm going to send all of my bad, scary, negative feelings out with that gray, scary color. So I'm going to think about purple and breathe in, and breathe out my scary gray color. And then I'm going to do that a couple times. 5 is my lucky number, so I'm going to do that 5 times. If you want to do that with me just to practice and see how it goes, I would really love it. So everyone, sit back, sit comfortable in your seats, close your eyes, breathe, picture your happy color, breathe in through your nose, that happy color, then breathe out that gray, scary color. Breathe in through your nose, breathe out that gray, scary color. Breathe in, breathe out. One more time, breathe in, breathe out. Does anyone feel calmer, a little bit more relaxed? I sure hope you do. I definitely do. So I'm really glad you all do as well. Now, this skill, this coping skill, can be used in any kind of situation, not just emergencies. Maybe you're worried about a quiz that your teacher didn't tell you about, or maybe you're worried to meet a new friend or go on a long trip. Anything that might scare you or frighten you in any way, just take a couple seconds. That didn't take long. It took maybe a minute tops. And just take a couple deep breaths in. Picture your favorite color, breathe in, and let out your gray, scary color. And it'll help you calm down and stay relaxed. All right, and this is a great skill to use in any situation, especially emergencies. There we go. Now, breathing with color is definitely a skill, which means you have to practice it. It's something that you are going to have to perfect. Maybe you can work on different breathing styles and techniques. It's also something that you can teach to any friend or family, anyone like that. It's good for all ages, so share it to anyone who might be feeling scared or nervous. For example, if Parker and Ray, going back to the story I just read, if Parker told Ray to do this earlier, and maybe Ray wasn't listening because he was too distracted by all the cool things that could happen in a tornado, but when it happened, Ray might get nervous and scary. Parker might have to reteach him all over again. He might have to bring his focus to him. Listen, Ray, calm down, listen to me. And that might be something you have to do for a friend of yours as well. All right. Moving on. So, all right. This next section here is for general preparedness. So we're going to talk specifically about home fires. And we are going to be showing you screenshots or pages from a workbook that we share, that we have, that goes along with this class. You can find this information on redcross.org/pillowcase. It has our workbook. You can download all these pages that we're going to talk about. It's not just pages in a workbook, it's actually a toolkit. It's something to help you make your plan perfect, or as perfect as possible, so you could be as prepared as possible for these emergencies. So I definitely recommend you downloading these pages and actually filling them out and taking them seriously, but they're all right here for you to go over. So first and foremost, this is an example of a home fire escape plan, okay? Now, when and if there's a home fire, you're going to need to know exactly what to do and how exactly to get out of your house. A great way to do that is just to look around your house. So right now in the rooms that you're in, take a look around. Are there 2 ways out of your room at all times? Maybe through a door or a window? Can you see them? Can you get out right now? If there are 2 ways out of the room that you're sitting in right now, that's awesome. Now go to the next room. Not right now, later. At the end of this presentation, go to the next room and check to see if there's 2 ways out, and the next room, and the next room. You want to try and be able to get out of every single room of your house as fast as you can, because you never know when fire is going to hit. You're never going to know what room you're going to be in, so you want to make sure you can get out at any point in time. This map right here is a great way for you to share this knowledge with whoever comes to visit. Maybe you have loved ones coming to stay with you for a weekend, or friends, or anything like that. Having a map drawn up about every way to exit that room during a fire might be a really great way for everyone to be on the same page. So you can go online, get a grid like that, and actually draw out your map and draw out all the windows and all the doors in the best way and the fastest way out, whether it be through your front door or your back door or your window, your side door, anything like that. When you make this plan, it's not just how to get out of your house, it's also what to do once you're out. So once you're out of your house, you're going to need to have a meeting spot. It has to be maybe somewhere across the street or around the corner or down the road. Maybe it's a neighbor's house, the tree, the fire hydrant, the bus stop, whatever it is. Make sure it's close enough to the home where you're not going to get lost getting there, but it's far enough from the home so that you're not going to feel the heat from the fire. Okay? And that meeting spot is going to be the spot where you and all of your family and everyone in your household will meet if a fire were to happen. This meeting spot is very important because if you all meet there, then everyone knows you're accounted for. That there's no one missing, no one's lost, no one's running around the street yelling, "There's a fire!" Everything's under control, okay? And that's the important thing here. You have to stay at that meeting spot until the firefighters arrive. And that way they can know everyone's safe and everyone's sound right here. Now, these 3 bullets on this slide are 3 very important things to remember during any fire. And these are quick things to remember. First off, get out as fast as you can, as soon as you can. Every second counts. If there's a fire, if you hear your smoke alarms, if you hear a relative from another room screaming, "Fire, get out of the house!" If you see smoke, whatever it is, get out. Don't grab anything. Don't go back for anyone. Just get out. Use any one of your exits and get out as safely and as fast as you can. You also want to get low and go. By getting low, I mean you're going to have to crawl on all of your hands and knees and get out and underneath the smoke that way. okay? You don't want to walk directly through the smoke because that's not safe. You don't want to inhale that smoke, and you also don't want it getting in your eyes because it might temporarily blind you. That's going to make getting out a whole lot harder. So crawl under the smoke and go. So not only do you have to get out as quick as you can, but you also have to do that on your hands and knees. So this might be something you want to practice. With your new plan, with your new meeting spot, you might want to actually practice sitting in your bed, pretending there's a smoke alarm going off, and then crawling through your house and outside, just to make sure that you can do it and you know how, okay? We recommend that you get out of your house within 2 minutes or less if a fire is happening. That's shorter than most songs on the radio. So that might be something worth practicing. Now, lastly, once you're out, well, get out and stay out. Call 911. Once you're out, do not go back in the house, okay? If you notice that your dog isn't outside or your cat isn't outside, or maybe a sibling or a friend is still in the house, do not go back in for them, okay? Do not put yourself more at risk. Stand at your meeting spot, wait for a firefighter, and tell them someone's still in the house, or my dog's in the house, my cat's in the house, and they will go in and get them. They are trained for that. They have all that fancy equipment to get in and out of that house safely. So tell them to do it. Make sense? Awesome. Moving right along. Okay, so this is an emergency communications plan. Okay, after the presentation today, you are going to sit with a grown-up and make that fire plan, that fire escape plan that I was just talking about in the last slide, but you're also going to go over this page too. If a fire happens, or if any emergency happens, not just fires, if a tornado happens, if a flood happens, if anything happens, you might need to contact someone that can help you. And they're going to have to be people that weren't affected by the same emergency as you. So if you were affected by a tornado, maybe your next door neighbor is not the person to call. You might have to call someone out of the area, someone maybe that lives in a different state, or maybe across Chicago or somewhere else. You're going to need to know their contact information. I am not very good at memorizing phone numbers. That's why I have a cell phone. But if an emergency happens, I might not have access to my cell phone. So having it written down, having it on a piece of paper that does not require a charger is something worth having. So it's good to have 2 people to call just in case someone doesn't answer their phone, and having a name and an address is a great thing. So if you need to get to their house, or if you need to call them, maybe you got disconnected from your family, maybe you're lost. Having a number to call and an address to call so you can tell the firefighters or the police officers or whoever is helping you in this emergency, they can get you somewhere safe to a family or a friend that you trust as safe as possible. Having all that information down is really great, and it's very helpful. This is something you're going to pack in your emergency preparedness kit, all right? These are emergency contact cards. These work just like the emergency communications pages, except they're handheld and they're wallet size. So if you have a wallet, they could fit right in your wallet, and you can carry them around all the time. They're really great. I have one in my in my wallet right now as well. Super handy just for all the information that you might be forgetting that you have. This is great to have for younger siblings as well, especially if you're in charge of someone. Again, all of this can be found at redcross.org/pillowcase. Okay. Now, this is a list of everything that you might want to pack in your emergency supplies kit. So now I'm going all the way back to the very first slide that we were on, the pillowcase project. Remember how I said you can pack up everything and build an emergency preparedness kit in a pillowcase or in a backpack or in a t-shirt bag, anything like that. If an emergency like a tornado is happening, you're going to want to have this emergency supply kit or emergency kit already packed so that you're not spending an hour or the entire time it takes you to realize there's a tornado warning packing up your kit. So this is something that's going to be pre-packed and waiting for you. Maybe it's just waiting in your safety spot in your basement, ready for you so that you don't have to prepare anything. When you hear a tornado warning, you can just go right there and everything's all set for you. Or maybe if there's a flood coming or a severe winter storm coming that requires you to leave, this kit might be something worth taking with you. So always having it in a spot that you can easily get to it, or having it pre-packed are very important steps to this kit. Next, you want the kit to be filled with things you're actually going to need. I don't like tuna fish, so I'm not going to pack a million cans of tuna fish in my kit. I'm not going to eat that. That's gross. I'm going to pack food I want to eat, but that doesn't mean I can pack fruits and veggies because they're going to go bad, especially if they've been sitting in the basement for a couple months. I'm not going to want to eat that food. So you're going to have to pack food that will last and food that you're going to want to eat. So think to yourself, what do you like eating? What will last if I were to pack it? Canned foods, great. But if you're going to pack a canned food, one, make sure you're going to want to eat it. You might like beans or you might like corn when your mother prepares them for you, but you might not like them raw and cold out of a can. So keep that in mind. Packed foods, if you're going to have a can, you're going to need to have something to open your can with. Some cans now have the tab that just cracks right open, which is nice. But if they don't have that, you're going to have to pack a can opener. Very important things. Please don't forget to pack the can opener. It's very important because if you stockpile cans and you don't have any way to open them, that's useless. They also make dehydrated fruits and veggies. So if you really want fruits and veggies, get the ones that won't go bad. Maybe granola bars are a great snack to have. You can also go to emergency preparedness stores or Army Navy stores and get dehydrated foods. So you can get dehydrated ice cream like the astronauts eat in space, or you can get powdered milk. So you just add a couple tablespoons of milk in your water and then it's suddenly milk, and that's nice and a comfort food. So they have all sorts of cool stuff like that. Those might be really cool things to pack in there too. So food, you're definitely going to need water, pack bottles in there. But what else do you think is considered necessary? What do you think should be in this kit? You have a whole list here, so you can take a look. But there are some things I do want to go over. There are things that you might want to pack in your kit that you want in your kit that you might not need. For example, when I usually teach this class, I know a lot of people always want to bring their game systems. I'm going to bring my DS. I'm going to bring my cell phone. I'm going to bring my Xbox 360 or my PS4. That might not be the best thing to pack. In a lot of cases, when there's an emergency, there's not electricity. Or maybe there's only a little bit of electricity, so there's not enough to charge your cell phone or to charge your PS3 or to even bring a TV. That's just not realistic. So maybe pack something else that'll keep you entertained that doesn't require that kind of energy, like cards or a coloring book or crossword puzzles or something like that. This is why having a pillowcase as your emergency preparedness kit is kind of a great idea, because you can pack markers and then just draw on your pillowcase kit. That's what I did. I have all sorts of designs on my pillowcase kit. Unfortunately, my pillowcase kit is locked in my bathroom right now with my roommate. She's showering. But that is my safety spot, so it's there safely waiting for me. I wish I could show it to you. I'm sorry. But it has a bunch of flowers on it because I like flowers and they make me calm. So that might be something you might want to pack too. Now, if I'm stuck in my safety spot for quite a while, I might want to pack a blanket or a pillow or even a change of clothes, because I don't know how long you're going to be in that safety spot. No one really does. Like I said earlier, tornadoes are unpredictable. So you want to plan for the unpredictable aspect of that. So pack some clothes, pack a blanket, pack a pillow, pack some toothpastes, pack a hairbrush or some soap. As a first aider, what do you want to pack? A first aid kit. You never know what's going to happen and you want to be prepared for anything. So these are things to put in your emergency kit. But you also want to pack something else. We talked about coping skills earlier. When you are that scared and nervous, maybe breathing isn't enough. So maybe you want to pack something that you can hug or that'll calm you down just by looking at it. I have a picture of my family as my special item. I know other people pack stuffed animals that they've had since they were babies in their kit. And that's just something they can cuddle with that'll make them feel comfortable and make them feel calm. And that might be something worth packing. There are lots of other things you can pack in your kit. I definitely recommend taking a look at that list, and you will see in all of the detail all the things that are good ideas to pack. If you have dogs or pets or little siblings, you might have to pack for them too. So maybe you'll need 2 pillowcases, one for you and then one for your sibling. Or maybe every member of your family needs their own kit. Or maybe you talk to everyone in your household and you all want to build one big kit together. And you might not be able to fit in a pillowcase anymore, so you might have to get a box. And that's a great idea. Just make sure it's up to date. Okay? Don't pack it and then forget about it in 20 years, then suddenly need it. That's not a good idea. Take a look at it every now and again. Okay, moving right along. Now, we talked about tornadoes and we talked about fires. Tornadoes are a great example of a time where you will need an emergency preparedness kit. That's, like I said, it should be waiting in your safety spot, or it should be somewhere easy to grab so that you can take it and go if you have an emergency and if you have time for that kind of thing. With a fire, you don't have time to grab something and leave. Your only job is to get out as soon as you can. Okay, that's the only responsibility you have. Just get out safely, and crawl while you do it. If you're crawling and trying to get out of a fire with an emergency kit or with your special item or with a backpack of things, that's not going to be easy, and that's going to weigh you down. So leave it behind, okay? With a fire, just get out, leave the kit. But with every other emergency, tornadoes, with other emergencies that you have time to prepare for, these are the times you have the kit ready. Make sense? Awesome. Okay, now we are ready for the Pillowcase Project quiz. I think your troop leader is going to pull it up for me. So just wait here until that happens. Here we go. Perfect. Oh, this is cool. So we're going to leave the quiz up for about 3 minutes. I'll give you 5 minutes, but I really hope it should be done in 3. You're all smart. I feel like you can handle this. It's only 5 questions too, so don't be too scared. And if you are, use your breathing and scoping skills. Nice. Doing good so far, everyone. Wow. I think we're still waiting on a couple people to finish the poll or the quiz, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to go over it really quickly. So just a couple more minutes. If you ran away during the presentation, now's the time to come back, the poll, get the recap. 2 more minutes. All right, I got a couple people that raised their hands. Do you have questions? Is that what that means? All right. I'm gonna unmute you so you can ask your question real quick, okay? So Olivia and Lila Chavez first, I guess. Hello. Any questions? No, no. Suddenly hands went down. Weird. Abby, do you still have a question? Let's see. Hello? Abby? Hi, Abby, do you have a question? Quick. I'm not hearing anything. All right. Okay. I guess we'll get back to it. All right.
Would you like me to close the poll so you can see the results? Or?
Yeah, sure. That'd be great. Thank
right.
you. All right. Nice. You guys did awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. So let's go over them really quickly. And then we'll have some time for a couple quick questions if anyone has any. All right, let's see. Question 1. I'm sure we all got this right. I did see that. You all did. So congrats. How quickly should you get outside when you practice your home fire escape plan? Correct answer is less than 2 minutes. Nice job. Okay. What is the most important thing to do when you are escaping a home fire? The correct answer was get out as safely and as fast as possible. That's B. Nice job, everyone. All right. What is the main cause of tornadoes? Select one answer. I know we got a lot of different answers for this one, so I want to clear it all up. It's A, thunderstorms. Thunderstorms, clouds cause tornadoes, okay? Nice job. Now, what should you do when a tornado is seen in your area? Select one answer. What are we thinking? The correct answer is to get to your storm shelter, safe room, basement, or safety spot. You do not want to watch for a tornado. Do not go outside and look for it. That's not a safe thing to do. It will be tempting, trust me, but don't do that, okay? You don't want to get swept up in the winds, which is possible. Get to a safe spot as soon as you can. At this point, if a tornado is already in your area, don't run to your car and head to your safety spot now. It's too late. Find a new safety spot closer by that you can get to right now, okay? You should have tried to get to your safety spot before this point. Okay. After participating in the Pillowcase presentation, do you feel more prepared? I hope you all said yes. And you're agreed. Thank you for that. And you're a grown-up if you ever grown up in the family. This question only pertains to if they're in your immediate family or like we would say in your household. Okay. Congratulations. You've all survived the presentation. I hope you feel more prepared. Does anyone have any questions before we go? Just raise your hand if you do. And then we'll unmute you so you can answer it. I can't see the comment section, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that I can take a look. There we go. All right. Any quick questions, anyone?
Do you have a question, Gigi? You looked like you were raising your hand in the screen. No?
No? All right. Well, thank you all so much for coming today. I really appreciate it. Like I said, this is one of my favorite classes to teach, so I'm really glad you were all here to participate in it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Even later on, your troop leader can get in contact with us, or you can go straight to redcross.org/pillowcase. Almost everything we went over there is on that page. There's also different games you can play to test your skills and see what you've learned and see how prepared you are. So everything we talked about will be there as well. So if you have questions, you can always go there first. All right.
All right. Thank you so much, Kirsten and Caitlin and Penny and Shelly for joining us. And just as a reminder, everyone, this is Family Week. So like Kirsten said, make sure you don't just keep this information to yourself. Make sure you share it with your family members, your siblings, parents, grandparents, so that we can all be informed and prepared. So thank you all. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And thank you so much, Kirsten.
My pleasure. Thank you all for coming. Have a nice weekend.
Thanks, you too.